Hi, my name is Zolan. I'm a 15-year-old small YouTube channel and I am a beginner in self-improvement. Today I'm here with you to share a set of actions and a mindset that got me through possibly one of the worst rut that I've had in my journey so far. But first, let me tell you how it all started. As any normal teenager, I am subjected to school. And so if I were to describe my life of the whole 9 months of school, it would be self-improvement and student. And with this always comes for a want of time to do self-improvement things. And suddenly that came true. It's summer now. And after that, I was so happy. And that morning when I woke up, I did my morning routine. And then suddenly I asked myself, now what? I've been asking myself this same question for that day over and over again until it became meaningless. And I ended the day doing nothing, and that started the rut. I've just basically scrolling using my phone, consuming content without taking action. And so I've watched some videos of saying that we need to dopamine detox, but after trying some time, I couldn't even grasp it. And after some guiltiness of failing, it got me into a rut. I've been in a rut before, but it feels different this time. It felt like all I've been doing was just a facade. Like I'm just a fake of being on self-improvement. And so after watching countless videos on how to get out of the rut, only then I began to ask myself questions, and the answers became clear to me. In my experience, I've noticed that a rut happens when there's two things. It's either you feel guilty or you took too big of a step. And so I began to look back on my experiences, the practices I've done so far, and I realized that in my journey, I've missed vital foundations to move forward. Whether it would be a concept that I needed to learn, a habit that I needed to build, a habit that I needed to lose. And once I looked back on my experiences, I saw holes that needed to be patched. And I knew what I needed to do. And so I went back to zero. Instead of trying to do the good habits, I started to work on the simple basics foundation, which is just the simple things. Instead of meditating for 3 minutes, I started doing 10 conscious breaths. I know it's not much, but during this 10 conscious breath, it felt like I have been much more present than the full 3 minutes one. It felt like I have learned something anew. And since I've seen this hole that needed to be patched, I tried to improve. And after countless time of trying, failing, and trying again, the rut fixed itself, or the rut just disappeared. And so this developed a mindset that a rut is simply not a bad thing, but it's like a chapter that is needed to move forward. It's a chapter where you need to look back on your experiences to see if you've actually done the thing, built the foundations to actually go to the next chapter of your life. So basically, imagine yourself reading a book. You just finished reading chapter 1 and you started reading chapter 2. There's some things or some situations that you didn't understand on chapter 2. So you try to look back on where that situation rooted, and it goes back to chapter 1. So instead of reading chapter 2 again and again, you try to read chapter 1. You look back on chapter 1 and try to read it word for word. And then suddenly, after you've read it multiple times and you go back to chapter 2, you understand the chapter more than you did before. Suddenly, all that confusion dissolves away. And same goes with a rut. Once you're in a rut, you need to ask yourself, do I need to change this habit? Do I need a concept to learn? Or do I need to start a habit? Do I need to stop a habit? Do I need to forget a concept? This makes it so that a rut isn't a wall that is needed to be break through, but a bridge that is needed to build from the old chapter to the new chapter. So instead of getting mad, getting guilty because you didn't do anything, just try to look back on the experiences you have and ask yourself, what do these things have that needed to be patched? Do I need to stop a habit? Learn a new concept? Start doing a habit? Or merely just go back to zero? Because with this mindset, a rut isn't this devastating thing. It's mainly a self-reflection. It's merely reflecting on your journey so far and seeing what you have done wrong so you could improve it. So instead of doing the 10 out of 10 perfect morning routine, you go back to just waking up. You go back to fixing your sleep schedule so you could do the routine afterwards. And after doing this for multiple times, you realize that the rut will fix itself faster. You will understand things faster. And you will improve much more faster. But I couldn't have reached this mindset if I still on my phone and regretting times I messed up on being productive. So here's some actionable steps that you can do to speed up the process. And as always, sacrifice your today for his tomorrow. Mwah.